what you say, Sil? Should we do the thing now? The teams I push are the same ones you bring down. The ponies I praise you wouldn't even sing about. But watch somebody come back from the brink now. Hey, what you say, Sil? Should we do the thing now? Some squads switch up and that's the thing now. You can be anything now, but consistent, I guess that's the only mission for a king now. And who's a king? Who's just a jester? Who reminds me of Devin Hester? Who's playing like they left her, hitting hoes for pleasure, while y'all search yours for treasure to no measure. I find mine with less effort and no sweat work. The best perk is that I'm always right. My opinion shouldn't cause a fight, but they might out at night cause your QB bites. So now it's on sight, I'm just looking down sights, waiting for a slip up. Dog, your shoelaces make you trip up, so you should find a zip up and pull it to where your fucking list was. Check yourself, this ain't get up, it's been up since the last countdown. Working on the fucking craft that they always count out. This is down now, but not out, so what you talking about? Don't get it twisted, I'm pulling switches like a pilot. I'm not flying, I'm just driving. I'm smiling cause life is gravy, stuff with struggles, but that's what fucking made me. Haters with turkeys, eating wormies, they ain't worthy, they do me dirty. But I'm not Brock Purdy, more like Tom Shirley. I know you heard me, but did you hear me? I said I know you heard me, but did you hear me? My dumb ass. Am I good? Hey, what you say, sir? Should we do the thing now? The teams I push are the same ones you bring down. The ponies I praise you wouldn't even sing about. But watch somebody come back from the brink now. Hey, what you say, sir? Should we do the thing now? So swatch this up and that's the thing now. You can be anything now, but consistent, I guess that's the only mission for a king now. Hey, and who's the king? Who's the king? Who's the king? Put your ring down. Man, I don't care what you think about. Get out my chest, that's the thing about. Yo, we back. It's the Power Rankings. It's week 18. I hope you're ready for your team to get kicked off of my list. Nah, I'm just playing. Nobody got kicked off the list really this week. What's good, everybody in chat? How y'all feeling? It's coming down to the wire for a lot of teams. This team especially, you know? And for my co-host teams, one of his teams been clear out of the playoffs. One of his teams is on the brink. What do you think about them Colts, bro? What do you feel?
It was like a cap. Like that was a cap right there. First off, but first off, the Chicago Bears, we own the off season, so everybody got to go through us. So that's one thing.
That's fair.
My Colts, we playing with house money, man. It's all about next season with Anthony Richardson, young phenom. But this is the final power rankings of this season, man, and a belated Happy New Year to everybody as well. Yes, new year, but last power ranking.
right. This is the end of our year, and it's funny how that goes. It's like every season that you have with NBA or football, when they say it's like the 2022 season, 2023 is like, all right, well, when was that actually? Like, what the hell? He won the Super Bowl in this year. It's like, what was that? The 22 season or what? But hey, that's just the way it goes, and that's the way the turns tables, as my dad used to say. But yeah, welcome to the show, everybody. Appreciate y'all being here. See Skii in the chat. What's good, Skii? How y'all doing?
Sports Network. We about to take off now. I'm telling you, Austin's been holding down. Still Nation Sports Network. This was an idea for like 2 years.
Facts.
And,
We just kept saying it. It never came to fruition.
These football shows really is what kind of carried it. And now I think we have a good foundation. Like this year's gonna be wild across the board, man.
Hell yeah, dude. Thank you for that, by the way. Yeah, we've been doing what we're doing. We do what we do, as Zack Snyder says, and we forge ahead. And I'm glad that like we can get more people on Still Nation Sports Network as far as like covering different sports, because there's so much football, man. But there's also like, I want to hear y'all's opinions about basketball. I love hearing Skii talk about boxing too. And then Necron gets his opinions out about the Spurs. Like, oh, I just was like, it's like sitting down in front of a bunch of old heads. Like, all right, go off, man, go off. I love that. I love that.
I tell you, man. Yeah, I'm really excited. I mean, obviously, this takes a lot of time and effort. Like, me and you was talking about that, and it's like, but we have fun doing it, man. We wouldn't be putting this effort in if it wasn't fun. You know what I mean? And so we're gonna keep the ball rolling, like I said, with this sports, because this is what we love, man. So yeah.
I wouldn't be doing it if we didn't like it. And that's why, football, I did want to kind of make an announcement. I told Sil before the show, this is the final rankings, and we'll have the final countdown of the season too. We're not going to be going into the playoffs just because I got to, take time to take a little trek back up north. Me and my fiance are moving, so I need time to do that. And I was like, what, rather than do 1 week of the playoffs and then just like end it, not be able to do the Super Bowl,
right?
Just let's just call it a season. Thank everybody for being here, and then obviously we'll be back for more. My channel will be back. The Good Countdown will actually be back for the Daytona 500, which is the end of February, and then obviously. We'll be talking more football. Me and Sil were talking about before the stream. We'll do a draft special. That's gonna be the next like massive show that we have. But we'll also like be talking the free agent deadline and all that stuff. And you said, man, the Bears own the offseason, so we need to hear your thoughts on that.
And that was the whole point with that. So it's like that's gonna be perfect. Obviously, you take out time, take care of your family and everything you're getting together, man. And then in the meantime, though, the countdown, as Austin is saying, he got to take care of his business. But during the playoffs, I am going to finally get to my reaction streams and getting the other sports content going. So it's kind of perfect timing, because like you kind of have to take this break, and I'm finally ready to start doing more. So however that goes.
All right, bro, take my stead. Here it is.
It's perfect timing. So we're going to go off the foundation of the Good Countdown. Whatever we do, football wise, you already know this is kind of a brand now. So season 2, like I said, final countdown Sunday. That's going to be cool, to get through 2 full seasons.
Absolutely, man. What a testament too. And shout out to you for being here every Sunday or whatever. Sometimes I'm not here, sometimes you're not here, but we got through it, and we actually had to. This is the first season we pre-recorded one of the countdowns and put it out. Which I think was like week 2 or something. But I'm like, bro, we can't miss a week. We can't miss a week, and we did it. And so shout out to the Good Countdown. Shout out to Still Nation Sports Network. 2 full seasons, bro. 2 full seasons. Shout out. And we got more shows on top of that. I didn't think that was going to be a thing, and I think we're going to have a Thursday countdown, a Monday power ranking. I didn't think
we were pretty wild with it. Like, you know what I mean? And it was organic. Like we always say, everything's organic, and that was just a natural thing, man. And I think everyone's favorite show is this power ranking show. When it's all said and done.
Yeah, I know. We might have to do some reiterations of it once I'm able to come back. And TJ said, no, UFL. No, we will be covering that too. I don't know like how intense that's going to be, or like when we can do a countdown, because me and Sil were talking. The XFL's season and schedule last year was kind of all over the place. They had games on Tuesdays, on Wednesdays, on Fridays. And then they would have some of them or a cluster of them on Saturdays. So we didn't know really how to predict the week. Do we predict all those like beforehand? And it was just hard to get together. But we obviously think that the UFL is going to be pretty sweet. They're covering 4 different major sports channels with the ESPN and Fox, being on ABC, ESPN,
ABC,
Fox, and then FS1.
FS1, FS2, I think as well
All
too.
those two,
So
yeah. So
yeah,
huge.
the
And
season.
was
Real
that
quick, the season starts the end of March.
end of
So
March? I'll
you'll
be
be
back
back.
before then. Yeah,
Yeah, you'll be back. So yeah, it's gonna be UFL covered. It just we gotta figure, like you said, with NFL we know Monday Night Football, Sunday
right.
games, Thursdays. It's like with UFL, we still gotta kind of monitor when's the best time, you know what I
We
mean?
gotta see
So
how that even
yeah,
plays out before we can tell you guys like this is what we're gonna do. But no, we definitely will be covering the UFL because it's
yeah,
football, man. We love the football, and I want to. This will give me time too to like bring more stats and facts to you guys and do some more research because I actually want to do research on how many people made it to the NFL from the XFL.
yeah.
Because there's a lot of numbers and a lot of good things, even though maybe we weren't watching it, but they were still playing their asses off. They were.
There's a couple guys I think they maybe rostered with the Cowboys, so they're about to go to the playoffs, like
Right.
these players. So it's like
Crazy.
their dreams came true playing spring football. You know what I mean? And
Right.
they made the cut, and they're making like plays, on the team. So that is going to be cool to kind of chronicle that because there's going to be more. You already know.
Oh yeah, this is just the beginning, and especially being the UFL, the United Football League, like such a cool thing that they came together. So many businesses don't come together like this in a way when they should. Like, yo, this just makes sense for everybody to do this. For us not to be competing in the spring, just to have one league and have all the best teams, because we did see from the USFL and from the XFL, like some of those teams were not great. I love my Orlando Guardians, but they did not have a great season. And obviously part of that plays into tickets too. Like, St. Louis Battlehawks play great, but they also like had the most tickets, sold out, and they had to. I don't know if it was for the XFL or the actual stadium, but they had to petition to get the upper ring sold because they sold out like the Under Bowl, and they're like, "Yo, we'll sell that out too. Like, give us tickets up there." So St. Louis goes
Nice
hard,
turnout.
man. Yeah, they miss their football. And it's just dope for like Necron. Shout out to your kick returner is
The Cowboys.
that's sweet. It's just like it's nice to see people like Necron in San Antonio not have to drive all the way to Houston or whatever to go see football. You can just see it in the city, and it should be like high quality football. It should be like going to a minor league game. That's how I'm like kind of like phrasing it in my mind. Like these are
them condensing,
pros.
Condensing the team. I mean, it's like people think like semi-pro. I mean, this is slightly over that. This is like, you're like right under the practice squad for the NFL. You know what I mean?
This is and it's professional too. Like they're getting paid.
Yeah.
They're getting paid. It's just it's not different type of pay, obviously, not as much. And
right. That's why I say under practice. Because practice squad, I think you at least get like a couple 100,000. Like with UFL, I'm not sure if they
how much they get. Right.
And
that's the thing though. I'm sure that I would say that the team covers all the expenses too. Like a practice squad player, you're not traveling with the team. You're not getting all the reps and stuff like that. So this is better for those practice squad players. They can be a star now in this league if they wanted to play spring ball. So it could do a lot of great things. And obviously, yes, we're going to cover it. So shout out to UFL. Shout out to Dwayne Johnson and Danny Garcia getting that through.
$7.
I don't even know who's on the USFL side of things, but shout out to them for pulling through and getting it together too. Because obviously,
just follow the rock and then
just do what they do, bro.
just don't do that out of there. Just follow them.
Oh my god, I love it, man. Yeah, the Rock is changing the game. So let's get into the Passmore. That's the first one we're gonna get into. Passmore ranking. Let me make sure I got the right one. Boom. And this is the final Passmore, dude. And sorry, man. There's no CJ Stroud. Let me tell you that right now, bro. I'm sorry, dude. He just wasn't there, bro. He wasn't here. Oh, let me fix this. That's hilarious. But shout out to CJ Stroud. I'm actually glad that he, sat out and didn't play when he was injured because I think he's going to have a really long career. So I don't want him to try and play and get hurt. We know how that goes. We've seen it on the field, and it doesn't look good when people go out there and they have headaches or whatever. CJ Stroud's going to be a dog, man, going forward if he can stay healthy. I also kind of said it earlier in the season. He may have hit a little bit of the rookie wall, and due to that, his body not being used to the longevity of the season, that might be also a reason why it sort of quote unquote gave up on him, and he needed to rest out, because that's a real thing, man. And he was playing lights out, doing all types of nonsensical stuff early in the season. So I was like, I hope he doesn't hit this rookie wall, because that's a real thing. But nah, CJ Stroud had a good season. Just didn't play as much as these gentlemen did on the top 4. So that's why he's not on this list. And if Money Train James is anywhere in the chat or out there in the ether, he'll probably be in the replay crew. Wow, easy for me to say. Jared Goff has made the list. All right. He's played every single down of this season as much as he could, I guess. And he's actually tied for 4th in touchdowns, 3rd in yards per game. And then he's in the top 10 for QB rating and completion percentage. He's 8th for each of those. So I had to put him up above Josh Allen. And he's got his team. I believe all these teams are leading, their division and are ready to go into the playoffs. So all these quarterbacks. So I think I did it right there. I gotta give credit where it's due. And Jared Goff has been playing better, but still can have some days where you're like, throwing 2 interceptions in Dallas. Some of those the pass at the end of the game, throwing some short passes, but still has the numbers, and he's got his team 11-4, 11-5, whatever it is, which we never expected out of the Lions. In the last 30 years. It's hilarious that that's the case. Like, my entire life, they haven't won a division. my entire life, they haven't won a division. So, yes, shout out to Jared Goff. You deserve to be on this list, so I put you on the list. Dak Prescott, 1st in touchdowns, still to this day. He's 2nd in QBR, 3rd in quarterback rating, 4th in completion percentage, and 4th in yards. All great numbers. Probably his best season, even though he's been. Is it possible with Dak Prescott hit the rookie wall too? Who knows? Because he hit a certain point in the season and kind of dipped a little bit too. Part of that may be facing better competition, and maybe the Cowboys peaked too early. Who knows? But they need to figure out some things, and it's like it's do or die time. It's you got to figure it out, or playoffs are next week. So you got to figure it out, and they're definitely going to be playing in the wild card weekend. So Dak Prescott, man, can you carry your team? Are we going to see the clutch Dak come out, or are we going to see happy feet and making mistakes? I don't know, but words that haven't been uttered in the same sentence.
That just sounds funny.
A parallel universe, right? Sorry, Necron. He has been playing great though. He's been on the Mount Passmore list all season, so I've been giving credit where it's due, bro.
We know how this story's ended, Austin. Go ahead, man.
I know.
We know how this is gonna end.
I know. Necron knows too, bro. Let's be honest. We got Tua, who is 1st in yards per game, 1st in completion percentage, 3rd in quarterback rating, and he's tied for 4th in touchdowns with the old Jared Goff. He's playing great this season. After last season, comparatively, it's almost like, man, he almost could get comeback of the player of the year award, like if it wasn't for like Baker Mayfield and Joe Flacco, but Tua Tagovailoa has played up to his standard, I think. Granted, he's got 2 of the best wide receivers in the league and 2 of the best running backs in the league, so that goes a long way too. But I think he's flourished with this offense with Mike McDaniel, and I think that the ceiling hasn't been found for Tua. I think he can only get better. He can be smarter, play faster, make better decisions, and be a better quarterback. So his numbers from this year may even go up next year, even though it's going to be hard to pass because obviously a lot of his yards, he's 1st in yards, because of Tyreek Hill, and Jalen Waddle. When you got those two right in front of you,
I'm gonna give him a little credit though. You remember that week Tyreek missed. Tua at least showed.
Yeah, that's true.
So I'm not gonna automatically put that. Though Tyreek Hill was like MVP to me until he got hurt this year. So yeah, I
said too though. Like I'm giving all the credit in the world to Waddle as well. Like he is such a great wide receiver as well. Just a different animal compared to Tyreek. You know what I'm saying? If Tyreek is a cheetah, then Waddle is like a penguin on ice. But yeah, I was trying to tie into Waddle, dude.
That's what upset me. I was like, oh my god. But yeah, like shout out to Necron. The Jimmy curse, Jimmy Johnson, has been forgiven, I guess, by the organization. So the curse is over.
Yeah, we'll see.
That's on your great, one of your greatest coaches ever in the Cowboys. So we'll see if that curse is over.
We'll see. And then we got Brock Purdy there, still at the top of his game, leading quarterback rating, leading QBR. He's second in touchdowns, second in completion percentage, second in yards per game, and second in yards. So not only has he been great in his decision-making and his overall effectiveness as a quarterback, but he's also got the numbers right up there as far as passing goes, for his team. I think, a lot of that also has to do with his weapons that he has. I don't know how Brock Purdy would have looked in Carolina. You know what I'm saying? Like, obviously, I think he's a better quarterback than Bryce Young, but Bryce Young doesn't have CMC, George Kittle, Debo, Ayuk. Like, he doesn't have all those weapons. He doesn't have Trent Williams blocking for him and others like that. So I think a lot of that, I'm not knocking that at all. I'm just saying, that's part of the reason why
it's a factor.
Purdy looks so good, right?
Yeah, that's definitely a factor.
It's a factor.
He has a loaded team.
He does. Him and Tua, man. And it'd be cool to see Dolphins Niners in the Super Bowl going off against each other, because ideally that'd be a high scoring game. But you never know with that Niners defense, dude. They're stacked just as much on the Niners side. So Brock Purdy, man, go get you one, Mr. Irrelevant. That's what I'm saying this year. Like, the ball's in his hands just to make the right decisions and not show up like he showed up against the Ravens. Because that was like a different Brock Purdy. You know what I'm saying? That was a whole different Brock Purdy.
I think that was more, the Ravens are just that good. They made every quarterback look like that this year. So it's like,
right.
I can't even put that on Purdy. You know what I mean? Like, you just ran into the best defense.
Buzzsaw, as it were. And then I got honorable mentions down there. Matthew Stafford, Dad of the Year. And we'll definitely have to give out our season awards when I'm able to come back. That'll be something we do.
Okay, cool.
We're gonna have that end of the season awards, because it'll be after the Super Bowl as well. So we'll have playoff awards to give out as well.
So I'll save, because because I already have like my quarterback of the year. All right, I'll save it for the award shows.
I think I might give out your quarterback of the year in the next slide, because you didn't send it to me, but I just put it up there because I know who it is already. But I want
MVP,
MVP. Okay. Yeah. Quarterback might be different. I like that. I
have quarterback of the year.
We're gonna have to save it. We're gonna have to save it. Yeah,
we'll save that for the views.
The award show. Save it for the award show, bro.
Awesome. Like the NFL honors show,
absolutely. Still Nation honors, bro. We'll have to give
That's how we come with, like, exactly what y'all just saw. That's literally how we come up with stuff. I just say something random. I was like, yeah, this and that. I'm like, yeah. And then he thinks of a name for it. And then we'll just go with it. You just saw a meeting right there of Still Nation Sports Network.
Live brainstorm. You're welcome. Matthew Stafford, though. We'll give out that award. We gave out that award all year, dude. Dad of the year, man. Yeah, he's gonna be Dad of the year, absolutely. And you guys will see it's reflected in our rankings as well. He's the reason why this team is turned around. I believe, obviously, when the different quarterback was there, they weren't playing as well, and the defense wasn't playing as well either. But now that you got Matthew Stafford there, just dotting up people as it were, man. Who knows what this Rams team is going to be going into the playoffs? I think any team should be scared of them.
Yep.
Shout out Daniel Barry. What's good? Thanks for stopping through, man. So let's get on to the bottom 5, dude. Why is this important? Because of draft picks. This is important because of draft picks. So tell me why the Panthers are going to give you guys the #1 draft pick, and you guys are going to trade it for a bunch of people. Let me hear about that.
I tell you, I'm doing a very interesting video this week on the Bears, options. That's going to be one of my first videos. I'm going to kind of get on the.
It feels nice to have options.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, that's going to be cool. It's a lot of just different ways. So, I mean, bottom 5, basically, these were the worst 5 teams of the year right here. So you got the Panthers. They played their part. They did what they're supposed to do. They, didn't deter, got us that first pick, right? Yeah, Commanders at 2, though it could be some wiggle room up there, but I'm just saying they were just as bad. The Commanders is pretty bad.
Yeah.
Chargers, after you lose Herbert and you quit on your coach, you're bottom 5 for the year. Titans, I'll say this, Coach Vrabel, I don't know if you saw his press conference he had today, or it was like a clip going around Austin. And Vrabel, he's just frustrated just with how the season's gone, injuries. He found his quarterback and then he got hurt a little, so
right.
I'm looking forward to the Titans bouncing back. You get a good draft pick. You already got your quarterback, so they may be a team that will trade down, get some more picks as well, build out. So the Titans going to be a problem, and they have a good coach. We both feel good about Vrabel.
Yeah.
Patriots, this story never goes away. Austin kept saying, bro, no, it's a non-story. Belichick's never leaving. Reports have come out that Rob Kraft will be meeting with Belichick in the next couple weeks to discuss the future. Whatever that means. I don't know what that means. I mean,
we don't know. People going to speculate, though.
We know Belichick wants to coach, so he's not retiring. So we know that. If for some reason Robert Kraft, is thinking of some other coach he wants to get in there, maybe a Jim Harbaugh or something, I don't know.
That'd be crazy.
I'm just saying, but actually, I'll keep that real though, because what they are saying is names I think we talked about before. Brian Flores, Gerard Mayo, are the and I think Mayo has actually the edge according to just people talking about it. So
that makes sense.
We'll see. But if Kraft wants to be done with Belichick, then there's going to be a trade. He will trade his coach to another team. And that's going to go wild. That's going to go wild. So we shall see. Nothing's done yet, though. But with this bottom 5, this is interesting. And I'll talk about this on my Bears video. We basically are going to pick, however these draft picks end up, we're going to likely, if we keep in Justin Fields, we'll trade down our 1. Let's say the Commanders is 2 or 3. We'll give them that #1 pick. They'll give us their pick plus 2nd round, 3rd rounder. Here, go ahead and get Caleb Williams. That's looking like Commanders is going to do that deal. So that's going to be interesting.
They still want Caleb Williams, bro?
Yeah, the Commanders want Caleb Williams. They're not sold on Sam Howell. And we saw they weren't sold on Sam Howell. Unfortunately, I thought he could put up numbers, but
me too.
You get Caleb Williams with Eric Bieniemy, that'd be interesting with the Commanders.
Fair enough.
Just saying. Now, what's going to be interesting, and again, I'll touch on the video, after the Bears trade down with the Commanders, they may trade down again because then let's say the Bears get the 3rd pick after they trade down. Patriots, you want to get the next quarterback? We'll trade down to 5. You take the 3, give us another 2nd rounder, 3rd rounder or so. And then Patriots, you go get your quarterback. If you want Drake May, that's the kid from UNC. The LSU guy, Penix, he's in the championship game. What's the guy from LSU? He won the Heisman. So there's 5 quarterbacks. We talk about this all year. So the Bears may do a double trade, bro.
That'd be crazy.
And they're going to stockpile pick. That's why I'm laughing this offseason. So anyway, that's the bottom 5. That's why I was following it all year, because I'm planning my trade route here. Who are we going to trade with here?
Right. Just wiping your hands together all right, man, what we got? But that's what I said. It must feel nice as a Bears fan to have options to go into this offseason. All right, this might not have been a great year, but the Bears haven't sucked, right? That's also a thing, too. You guys haven't been the Panthers. You guys aren't even in the bottom 5. The only reason why you have the pick is because of superior, I guess, management. So
Yeah,
you
great
must feel
GM.
good. Yeah, you must feel great about being a Bears fan right now.
Oh man, because I mean we got the 10th pick right now. That's pretty much how we're going to end the standings. We actually caught up with the Falcons, your NFC South fellow team rival. We caught up with them somehow. That's amazing.
I know.
You know, so we escaped dishonored. We got 7 wins. We may get 8 if we beat the disgusting Packers this
May
week.
go F around and ruin their season.
Hey, let's knock them out the playoffs, right?
Let's do it.
Hey, that's what the Lions did last year. Knocked out the Packers last game of the season. That spurred them on to the Lions are hosting a playoff game now. So I think the Bears could follow that same route, right? So this is going to be an interesting game. But yeah, we played as far as like the GM and positioning. This was I'm not talking about on the field. Just off the field, we had a perfect year. The Bears had a perfect year.
Yeah.
So I feel good about it.
You got to, man. And on the field, but we saw spurts. Good things to look forward to. And I will say, looking forward to the Packers versus Bears. If Jordan Love's the guy and Justin Fields is the guy, man, that rivalry can only get better going forward.
Mm-hmm.
Seeing those two clash against each other twice a year, bro, like.
Yep.
I think they should keep Justin Fields and just continue to work with him. And in this offense, this seems to be doing well. Or maybe a different OC. I don't know. It's up to you.
Well, they may keep the entire coaching staff just because they got a hot streak second half of the year. We went like 6-2. It was insane. The streak that we went on. So I say they should keep Fields. I think they're playing at coy to raise the draft price and stuff. I mean the trade price. But if Justin Fields goes into Green Bay and beats the Packers this Sunday, it's a no-brainer.
Yeah.
You keep him at that point.
Solidified. Absolutely. He is the Bears quarterback at that point, and they will carry the Justin Fields flag until the end of time. That's how the story will be told. He went into Green Bay and kicked them out the playoffs, dude. Like, what? I'm like, yeah, he will be that dude, Justin Fields.
That would be perfect, man. That would be perfect. I mean, I just want them to be competitive, but yes. I want them – this is a game I'm like, we beat the Lions, we beat the Vikings. So, this is the last team we got beat in the division just to have a little feather in our hat for the season. So we beat each of our division foes one time if we beat the Packers.
I love it, man. You got to take the wins where you can get them, especially as a franchise that's not one of the franchises that's been, going to the playoffs every year. Like, all right, well, what are we building towards that? And it's like a lot of the lower teams in the NFL, like the Panthers, they do the flash in the pan sort of deal where it's like, let's just put everything together, all these ingredients, they'll meld together. It's like, no, you got to actually build that. I hope, and if that's the reports are true, as you say, the Bears should keep their coaching staff because we've seen obviously it took time. The system, maybe just everyone needed to learn it. Maybe you needed to get the right guys in there. You get Montez Sweat in there, everything's turning around. Yeah,
the head coach, Coach Eberflus, he's a defensive guy, and so he's judged on how the defense does, obviously. So the fact that you got Montez Sweat, who's an All-Pro rush, edge rusher, you got Jalen Johnson, he's may go to the Pro Bowl as a cornerback.
Nice.
They got a lot of young talent, and like I said, it went 6-2 this last stretch because of the defense. Now Justin Fields, he's a star. He's a potential star at quarterback. But it starts at defense. So that's why the coaching staff is staying. And the offensive coordinator, I see Carlos making fun of offensive coordinator. I don't like the offensive coordinator either, but that's Eberflus' guy. That's the head coach's guy. So it's kind of like that what we just went through with Coach Tomlin and Matt Canada.
Oh, yeah.
Let's see, you're still on trial, half through in the next season. If the offense keeps, sputtering, then, Eberflus will have to fire the offensive coordinator then. So we'll see.
Right. And it's a testament to the coaches, too, for making whatever changes they need to have this sort of a turnaround because it did not look great at the beginning of the season. So shout out to the Bears for 6-2, man, at the end of the season. That's big time, man. That's big time. And we've seen it. We're like, do we pick against the Bears this week? I don't know if we do, man. We've had a hard time because of Justin Fields and that defense that they have on that
on a hot streak, man.
Yeah. Gotta love it. So tell me why Lamar Jackson's the MVP, bro.
Hey, man, why is Lamar Jackson MVP every big game this season? when they played the Lions, when they played the Seahawks, when they played the 49ers, they just played the Dolphins. These are big playoff, teams, Super Bowl contenders. And Lamar Jackson controls the game. Now, obviously, the Passmore thing, me and Austin argued about this all year as far as the Passmore. It's about passing. But Lamar
not disrespecting him, though. I'm not trying to.
But no, I mean, the numbers are the numbers. But if you have that element of the rushing game, that's part of the game. And if you're affecting the game like that and you're spreading the ball around, like he has no receiver they're not going to get 100 catches because he has like 7 or 8 receivers that he's using.
Spread out, dude. Yeah, it's crazy.
Odell Beckham, he's a 1-year rental. I say, hey, re-sign him on a smaller contract because we see he can't do the full workload like he used to. But when Odell gets in the open field, he still looks like Odell, right? He still got those hands. Still got those hands. You know what I mean? Zay Flowers, he got, and audible into like running plays. He has like a full running back committee. Lamar Jackson makes the right call. Like it just, to see it unfold this year, stats is obviously a big part of it. Mm-hmm. But what's the best stat? Is wins, right? That's what it's all about. They have the best record in the league. They have the most complete team, obviously. Their offense, he lost Mark Andrews, who's actually coming back for the playoffs, which is amazing.
What? And they got likely stepped up.
Likely steps up. All of a sudden, this guy doing one-handed catches. Like, one thing you would say, you could think of multiple things that you would say Brady was great at. What's that's the top 3 things you think he did for his team? Made his team better.
Everybody.
We literally saw Lamar Jackson just do it this year, right? You know what I'm saying? Not a knock on Tua, but you had an MVP receiver. You know what I mean? Just keep it real. You know what I mean?
X.
Brock Purdy. Just do a screen pass to Deebo Samuel's, Brock Purdy, and you got a 80-yard touchdown. You know what I mean? So it's like
CMC.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It's no diss, but it's just like we just saw Lamar Jackson do something that's, I know it's like sacrilegious to say this with Austin here, but that was Brady-esque. This was a Brady-esque season.
Oh, no. I think it's different even. And I think he is more dynamic in a lot of ways.
Oh, yeah. It's different.
Yeah, but the level of what he did and like the aura of it, absolutely.
Raising his teammates, because again, it'd be different if he had prime Odell Beckham, Mark Andrews the whole year,
right?
And like another, pro receiver. He didn't have that. And they got the record, and the offense is purring. He lost 2 running backs for the year. Keaton Mitchell, that was the rookie running back who was playing great. They lost Dobbins week 1, who was supposed to be the workhorse. And all they kept doing is winning. It's because of Lamar Jackson. And I just think it was, it could have been a question with Brock Purdy. I will say that up to that game against the Ravens. Mm-hmm. And you walked away from that game, you're like, it was obvious he was the best player on the field. That game, you know what I mean? So Lamar, he's been in the running all year for me. Like I said, Tyreek Hill, in a perfect world, he would have never got hurt, would have broke 2,000 yards. And I think Tyreek Hill would have had a chance. CMC, if he didn't get hurt and he kept that touchdown streak going, he already has over 20 touchdowns, but it's just the stats. Those 2 guys were, I think, the best players of this year. Myles Garrett, if he didn't get dinged up early, I think he's Defensive Player of the Year. He could have made an argument for MVP. Lamar's been right there all year. CJ Stroud was kind of right there, and he got hurt. That's why I say Lamar Jackson, though. I think he just NFL is about availability. He outlasted everyone. And man, he carried this team. This will go down in a weird way. Though he had an MVP before in 2019, he was just a baby then, right? But he had a great year, had 36 touchdowns total that year. He doesn't have as many touchdowns this year, but this was a better season somehow. Somehow it was. So
well, and shout out to Lamar Jackson. He's gonna be I think he's 24 right now, which would be like he's younger than some college quarterbacks.
I think he's 27. I think he's 27 actually.
27?
Yeah, I think it's 27.
I said 24 because 26 was I think the number that I saw last, but maybe he had a birthday. But even so, he's
not in his prime yet.
still younger than some college quarterbacks that are out there playing.
You got like 6-year college players out there.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? So
happy early birthday to Lamar Jackson. His birthday is January 7th. So he's about to be 27. Yeah. He's
okay,
about
there
to
we
be
go.
27. That's crazy.
That's insane.
Bro.
So he really was playing this whole year as 26. And so it's like, that's nuts. He's not even, like I said, he hasn't hit his prime yet.
No.
He's not even like thinking like fully with his brain yet. This is crazy. You know what I mean?
Right. And what is he gonna do? Right? Like, how much better can he get? And he's got his arm talent, I think, is better than his leg talent, like, which people don't really see. Like, that thing is like a cannon, bro. And he can really switch it up to have multiple angles, multiple areas of attack. And to bring up, you brought up Brady. Someone said, and I saw it on Twitter, it was like, oh, Brady was right, because a couple years ago he posted a story and it was him and Lamar like dapping after the game. And on his Instagram story, he said, "You're next." And it's like, dude, if what you said, if OBJ resigns, and everyone can come back healthy next year, they maybe bolster up a little bit even more on defense. That we've seen what Kyle Van Noy has done to their defense as well, being signed there. No one really talks about that, how much of it is having a Super Bowl linebacker in there for the Ravens, but he's done a lot for them. If you can have OBJ come back, teach those young wide receivers, have Andrews come back, teach Likely, and have that running back come back with Gus, the running backs come back with Gus Edwards. Like, this could be. We're seeing I know everyone's talking about the Chiefs, like, quote unquote dynasty, which I don't really think they necessarily ever were. They only won 2. I think we could see the Ravens be the start of a dynasty if they play their cards right and like keep the majority of this team together going forward, and having OBJ there, like you said, if you can resign him to a lesser contract and have him teach like these wide receivers the tools of the trade, with Lamar Jackson just being a different level of person. Like, he just elevates people on a different, like, he reminds me a little bit like Steve Nash in a way, where like he's just unexpected. Like, what the, even his teammates are like, what the, oh my God, I wasn't even expecting the ball. That dynamic, but I think he's going to have a better run. And I think going forward in the playoffs, they should win it out. We've seen, different things from Lamar in the playoffs. I will say that, like, I will caveat myself with that. But like you said, he was like 19, 20 years old, like, in those playoff games. Like, what would you do, bro? Like, come on. So I can't fault the guy. I can't fault the guy at all. And I think he's learned from those situations, and he's got the team this year to have his back to go forward in the playoffs and just wreak all sorts of havoc, dude. We thought that the 49ers were going to be a tough test. Boy, were we wrong. We thought the Dolphins were going to be a tough test. Boy, were we wrong.
Oh, I didn't think Dolphins would be that tough. But yeah, 49ers, yeah, I thought the 49ers would be tough. Wow. After that 49ers game, I was just like, yeah, this is they're steamrolling teams. Like I said, it does come down to playoff time. How these matchups kind of set up. So it remains to be seen. Yep.
You've seen it all too well as a Colts fan, how much differently the postseason can play out compared to the regular season. Like, 2 different teams sometimes, you know what I'm saying? Like, what happened? So we'll see. Hopefully that doesn't happen to a lot of these teams and they show up and we have good games, because I hate blowout playoff games too. Like, come on, man. This is the last games we get. We don't need no blowouts. But Lamar Jackson might do that to a couple of teams. He might do that.
Hey, man, they've been handing out all season. I mean, it's one thing. Like I said, I know the year, his MVP year, they had a great record as well, great running game, but just it's something different about this team. But like I said, they got to show up in the playoffs.
Holding some teams at 3 points, dude, like consistently earlier this season. It's crazy. Yeah, shout out to Lamar. Definitely deserves the MVP. And I don't think there's anybody else that competes with him either. But going forward, we'll see. Are the Ravens at the top? We just talked so much Ravens. Are they at the top of the list? Yes, they're number 1. Obviously, they haven't changed. And for me, the 49ers went up to number 2. Our lists look very similar, But as I was going through, I'm like, man, I can't have the Lions out that high. No way, man. so tell me about your list, man, and tell me why you got the Lions at 4 and the rest of the teams too.
The final top 10 of this 2023-2024 season is right here, right? Season 2 of the Syl Nation Sports Network. This was really just like a finals rankings. Like, it's like I take in all data, like what I see. I anticipate a lot with my placements as well. I'm petty with some as well, as I'll explain through this list here. But my top five means the top 5 really means something to me. So if you're in the top 5, you're doing something. And you start off with the Ravens, number 1. We've already talked about just how great they stomped pretty much every team on the top 10 this year. So
crazy.
They're number 1. You can't take that away from them. 49ers, they had that little dip in the middle of the season. Brock Purdy, had one of the best quarterback seasons. It's like, I know he has a great team, but it's like Brock Purdy had a great year.
He played well. Yeah. You can have all that. You can have all that and not play well, but he played great.
Use the weapons, you know what I mean? So the 49ers are and I meant this too when before the Ravens 49ers game, I said, whoever wins this game, I'm not going to just take it hard on the losing team, because these are 2 top teams in the league. So
right.
49ers, they're right there, and I think they're going to destroy a lot of teams in the playoffs too. The Cleveland Browns, people thought, it was weird. We had the Browns in the top 10 early this season. Like, it was like, really, Browns for real? And they just hung there. They hung there. They put in DTR, so I kind of dropped them down early, and then Joe Flacco, comes off the couch.
Somebody call for a quarterback.
This is the type of team, when we get to the playoffs, this is the type of team where it's like, oh, they can knock off like the Ravens or the Dolphins. Like, the Browns are that good. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So that's going to be a scary team for anyone to play. They got top 3 defense. They got prime Joe Flacco. How is this possible? And they got the running game. They got Kareem Hunt back after they lost Nick Chubb. They lost Nick Chubb.
We forgot his name.
Kareem Hunt.
Poor Nick
Chubb. Jerome Ford. So they kept their running game running. Amari Cooper, the Cowboys, why didn't you pay this guy? He still has a lot of juice left. He's looking great. Njoku, he's been great for my fantasy team, though I did bow out. I did bow out on the fantasy Final Four.
It's honorable.
Man, okay?
It's honorable.
Injuries, man. But Njoku was great for me at tight end. So they got weapons. They got the defense. You got a smart quarterback. Mm-hmm. For the whole year, he would be dad of the year. But that's why the Browns are so high, because I say you line them up, I think they could beat any team. I think the Ravens that'll be, hopefully it comes out of those 2 teams, because that would be a really, really great game. I wouldn't mind either of those teams going to the Super Bowl, because I want to see one of them win overall. So
absolutely.
Before the Lions. This is kind of by attrition. It's like, okay. This is everyone. And it's like, I know the Rams are coming up, but it's like, are they really, the Rams really, really top 5? So I kept the Lions there. I know they just lost to the Cowboys, but did they really lose? Really lose? I mean, were
they getting too cute with the reporting? Were they getting too cute with the reporting?
They got a little cute, but it's like, I take that as a moral victory over the Cowboys. I know the Lions fans don't want to hear that.
I know.
The Lions were the better team in that game. I just feel they were. And you line them up in the playoffs, I think the Lions would beat the Cowboys on any neutral field.
They're playing at Jerry World too, on the road.
Yeah. So the Lions were the better team. So that's why I didn't dock them for that loss. So, and the Cowboys, not saying the Cowboys are bad, just that you should have lost. But you're right there at 5, because Cowboys – hey, I think you're better than the Eagles right now.
Yeah.
You probably should be scared if you see the Rams teams in the NFC. 49ers owns you. And I think the Lions are better. So the Cowboys are right where they need to be. As I mentioned, the Rams right there. Just what a story. I think they're going to upset somebody on the road. If it ends up being the Lions, we'll see what happens with that in the playoffs. Dolphins, again, just they are. I don't want to say like it's a huge game against the Bills. It is. They do need to win.
Yeah.
Kind of like just for psychologically. Because I think the Dolphins are a good team. Yeah. Going into the playoffs, you got to take care of your division foe, man. You got to take care of your division foe. So, yeah. so that's why I said the Dolphins right there at 7. They won a big game against the Cowboys, but they didn't win a lot of big games. So you do got to beat the Bills. The Bills been surging up, so they're number 8. They had a up and down year. It's been kind of an erratic year for Josh Allen and that team, the coaching staff. Mm-hmm. Stephon Diggs' brother hates Josh Allen for some reason. It's like just crazy year. But they're right there. They're right there, 10-6 with one game ready to go. Likely, obviously they're going to be in the playoffs. The Eagles. What a slide for the Eagles! It's just they got too many wins. I couldn't take them out of the top 10. What
happened?
They got too many wins, but they don't want to see no one in the backyard fight right now. Like they're likely going to play the winner of the NFC South.
Yeah,
and I know a lot of people are like, the Eagles should beat anybody from the NFC South. Hey man, if it's the Bucks, if it's the Saints, whoever it is, the Eagles, man, heads are going to roll this offseason, but. For the whole season, hey, they got so many wins. They're still in the top 10. And the Chiefs, I kind of just slid the Chiefs back in there because your Bucks lost. So I wasn't going to keep the Bucks right there.
That's
but
fair.
They lost. So I was like, okay, I need a 10th team, and I want to put anybody up there. So the Chiefs right there, because at the end of the day, this was Patrick Mahomes' worst year we've ever seen him play, right? I think they still got like 11 wins or something like this. Crazy. But just the terrible receivers. Kelsey is too worried about Taylor Swift. The defense is great, though. So that's what kept them in these games, and that's what's going to make the Chiefs. You don't want to see I know you're saying we're kicking them while they're down, but you don't want to see the Chiefs in the playoffs still. So
that's fair.
We'll see what goes because the defense really keeps them in it. So that's my top 10 teams for this season. And like I said, just the Bucks. They're just down there because they took that loss. So.
They shouldn't have lost either, and I'll get into that a little bit when I get down to where they're at number 10. I only kept them at number 10 on my list because I like the Bucks more than I like the Chiefs, and I have more confidence in the Bucks offense than I do the Chiefs offense. I'll tell you that much. That's for sure. But we have the same top 3, and it's all the same reasons. I almost said Ravens because the Ravens are there at number 1. Lamar Jackson is playing like he's in a different league than everybody else, and it's showing. And every week we see him come to play. Last week I think they ran up the numbers just because everyone's like, oh, he doesn't have his stats. He doesn't have his stats. He's like, all right, stat that, mother ever. So, shout out to Lamar doing that. Shout out to the Ravens rallying behind him on the defensive side as well. They're like, man, we got that on offense. We gotta play over here, and they have been. 49ers, they're just doing their thing. If they can pull it all together, and if Brock Purdy doesn't have any more games like he did, I think they can make it all the way to the Super Bowl, like hands down. But I'll say this: every other NFC team is thankful to the Ravens for showing us, like, oh, you do bleed. Okay, like, all right, there is like a way to beat you. There is a way to get this W. So the 49ers, even though they're at number 2, they're definitely number 2. I will say I don't think any NFC team is necessarily completely scared of them anymore, just because they're human. We saw that week against the Ravens. Then the Browns, man, if it wasn't for the Ravens, they would be probably the top in the AFC. It's hilarious to think that going into this season, did anybody on their NFL bingo card have Joe Flacco's to the Browns? I don't think anyone's getting that one. But this is just what the NFL is, man. And we always say the cliches of next man up mentality, but like next man up off the couch, like legit. Shout out to Joe Flacco for even keeping this like dream alive, for not calling it quits, for like not putting in retirement papers, for also like holding out for this situation. Like he had this in mind, dude. It wasn't like, oh, let me sign with the team now and play all season. It's like, nah, I'm going to wait till a contender needs me. Like, I'm just going to chill out and play and bet on myself. And look at where he is now, man. He said he was out in the yard with his pops and his brother, just throwing routes and keeping the arm loose. So shout out to Joe Flacco, man. It's a lot of work to keep it on yourself. It's a lot of stress as well. So because sometimes you're like, oh shit, I'm gonna F myself over here. But look at him now, man. I had a chance to go on and run for the Super Bowl. And we're saying we're confident that the Browns could upset the best team in the NFL right now, the MVP. We are confident because of Joe Flacco playing like he is. And I think because of like the situation that he went through, he has like a different kind of confidence. Like, yo, I'm going to ball out, dude. I'm going to throw it to Njoku 70 times. I'm going to throw it to Amari Cooper 80 times. Like, I don't care. Like, I'm just going to do what I do what I know works. So I just love that. I respect that so much that because you have to have a lot of confidence in yourself, but you also have to work your ass off to be able to like, yes, this is what I'm doing and it's going to pay off. And look at it paying off right now for the Browns and for Joe Flacco. And for the Cowboys, will it play off at number 4? I don't know. You just got the W. You better pay off the refs for the next couple of games too, because they apparently don't want to acknowledge anybody who reports. But nah, I think they won it fair and square. I will say that. Like, I looked at the replay more and had some time to think about it. The Lions were like 4D chessing the reporting with sending like multiple people, but also like don't make it hard on the ref. And even they report it in the stadium so you could hear it. If you hear that they reported the wrong guy, like that, you have the opportunity to be like, yo. So they should have, been paying attention to that as well. It's an example and an expose on poor officiating. I think this will hopefully get the ball. They're not full-time employees, dude. Like, what the fuck? They like, I don't know, go teach for one half of the year and then they go ref some of the most expensive games in the world that has money on the line and implications all over the place. Like, all these reffing snafus over the past couple of seasons, even like we've seen how many calls the Chiefs have gotten, and it's like, yo, what the fuck are we doing here? But like, I don't even think that's just like, oh, yo, the refs favor the Chiefs. I just think they have had bad officiating crews, ref their games. And for whatever reason, maybe they're just sick of hearing, or they didn't want to hear Patrick Mahomes bitch anymore. So maybe they just like, all right, we'll throw the flag. I don't know what it was, but I think that the Cowboys definitely have the opportunity ahead of themselves, right? They're not like the Chiefs. The Chiefs aren't even in my top 10. The Cowboys have the opportunity to prove everybody wrong. Because we're thinking we know how the script ends, right? Me and you were like, nah, we've seen this before. 7 times so far with Dak Prescott. He's been a great replacement since Tony Romo, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. But he hasn't really surpassed what Tony Romo has done. Like, Tony Romo went to the playoffs a couple of times, or like had them in the running for the playoffs every year too. It's like, we see your best season out of you now, Dak. What are you gonna do with it? Are you just gonna be a regular season quarterback? Is this all we're gonna see, or are we gonna see you be that team? I think they have the opportunity to. CeeDee Lamb's healthy. They got Micah Parsons back on defense, actually playing defense. Where's the Micah Parsons sighting? I think the Cowboys have a chance, but I also think that they have a chance to, fall to a team like the Rams if they end up, playing against them. And my reason why I have the Rams at 5 above the Lions is because of superior quarterback play. Like, the Cowboys have been there all season long. I almost wanted to put the Rams above the Cowboys, but they just don't have like the record to match it. The Rams, with what they have, everything coming together the way that it has, they're on a wrecking ball crew. Like, I was listening to Puka Nacua have an interview earlier today, or it was yesterday, I believe. But he is just a light in the world. Like, he got drafted in the 5th round, and he's learning from Cooper Kupp on the field. Like, oh shit, yo, Coop, what do I do? And he's like, oh, yo, you're shallow. Okay, like, and runs. Like, that's the most hilarious shit ever. But that team coming together is a testament to them. Like, we saw a dad of the year. I don't know how to relate to my guys. Well, they found a way, man. Like with maybe he just needed Cooper to be there to help him relate and be the bridge to the younger guys, but they found a way. They got a dynamic running back in the backfield. They have weapons all over the field, not just Puka, not just Cooper Kupp, but they have as a Tyler Higbee. They have a really good tight end as well. And then you have Aaron Donald on the defense, he's the quarterback of the defense. And Puka Nacua was like, yeah, AD just got the same vibes on the defense, and he's kind of like the head leader. I'm like, Aaron Donald, like he's still that dude, and I guess he's super funny. The whole defense is super funny. Hearing that team talk about each other, just like, oh, you better watch out. Like a team that has that type of chemistry.
It's a team, yeah.
Right. You don't have to worry. You're not worrying. You don't have any like, oh, what are we going to be going into the playoffs? Like they know who they are. They know what they need to do. Matthew Stafford is like a genius. He's got the accuracy that you haven't seen out of anybody. Puka Nacua is about to break a record, and that's going to be the third wide receiver that Matthew Stafford has helped break an all-time NFL record with, which is a testament to Matthew Stafford. So Dad of the year, he's number 5 for me, above his old team, which shout out to the Lions for even being here, right? We thought, oh, they got rid of Matthew Stafford. And, all right, it's definitely over. If you guys weren't good before, it's definitely over. But Jared Goff, the moves that they've made, the draft picks that they made, Dan Campbell, obviously, as a head coach, they're number 6 for me. I hope that they take this loss. I'm going to call it a loss, quote unquote loss, against the Cowboys, and use it as another chip on their shoulder. Because if all the home teams win this week, Lions win, Cowboys win, they could be facing each other potentially going forward to the next round, and then we'd have a rematch of this game. So I hope that the Lions can take this and learn from it. Jared Goff, you only get to throw 2 picks in the game and be in contention to win the game at the end of the game every so often. So let's not make those mistakes again. I'm worried about Jared Goff, though. I put the Rams above the Lions because it's Matthew Stafford over Jared Goff to me. I think they're, comparable in other facets, but Matthew Stafford is a Super Bowl winning quarterback, and that's a Super Bowl winning team, the Rams. The Lions haven't been there, haven't done it yet. And it's going to be a really tall task for them to do it going in to the playoffs. Dolphins are looking at the same thing, man. I had them at number 2 last week because they were looking really good, but they looking really bad against those Ravens. And they looking really, really bad the last couple of weeks, too. Almost got beat by the Patriots. So, I'm wondering about this team. Did we get too much hype? Is the HBO cameras, did that snuffle things up a little bit too much? What happened to make the Dolphins kind of fall apart in the way that they have? I still think they have an obvious chance of winning games in the playoffs, but I don't foresee them going to the Super Bowl. I just don't think it's going to happen right now. And they had Chubb go down at the end of the game and late in the fourth quarter when they're down by 30, one of their star DBs for the Dolphins. So I think that's a problem as well. Hopefully they do something and to turn the momentum around for their team. But I just think they're kind of like the Eagles coming up, where they're just kind of on the downward slide. Yeah, it's a lot of people hurt. That's also another thing there, real talk. But the Eagles, I don't know if it's injuries or just bad coaching. We've seen Shane Steichen, whatever his name is, the head coach for the Colts. He may have been the reason why this Eagles offense looked so dynamic last year, and Jalen Hurts looked like an MVP quarterback. Because without him, what are you, Eagles? Also, their defensive coordinator, I think, left as well. They were at the top of the line all season long. We were like, man, we don't want them here, but they just keep winning games. Somehow they keep winning games. Somehow they keep winning games. And obviously that luck was going to run up dry eventually. But I didn't think they were going to look like they do now. The way that they do now, it's like, man, this isn't the same team that I expected to see coming into this point of the year. And I really think the Eagles, if they're coming into Tampa Bay, I got confidence. I got a lot of confidence. Now, Tampa Bay did not look great last week against the New Orleans Saints, but I don't think they respected that game enough, which really pisses me off. So it remains to be seen what team comes out this week in Tampa Bay. But Eagles, I still think I'm confident against them going in the playoffs, and who knows, the Giants might pull a nice little upset on them at the end of the season, which would be funny to see. Which is their last game of the season against the Giants. And the Giants have nothing to play for, right? Except to ruin the Eagles' day.
Yeah.
I think that's definitely setting itself up this Sunday. The Bills, as you said, man, up and down, up and down, up and down. We got stories coming out about the coach. We got things coming out about the wide receiver's brother. We got all this controversy coming on, but they're still in contention, right? We still think that they have all the pieces in play, where if they figure it out, if they put all those pieces together, they could be a Super Bowl winning team. But also, how many times is that going to happen? Like, how many times are we going to let James cook and he's going to go for over 100 yards or whatever? Like, how can we pair that up with Josh Allen having a good game? Can the defense be stout and stop one of these high flying offenses like the Ravens? Like, I don't know. We've seen him, keep teams to 20 and under, which I will say that's a big thing for the Bills. But it's just kind of like so much in fluctuation, so much like we don't know about the Bills, and the inconsistencies. Like, that's not something that you need going into the playoffs. And I hope that they can figure it out as for Bills Nation. And I think, Josh Allen has kind of been, even though he's had a bad year with the turnovers earlier in the season, the second half of the season has been playing his ass off. And I think he deserves to have some playoff wins under his belt. And who knows, maybe even get a Super Bowl. But the Bills Nation, Bills Mafia, they deserve a Super Bowl. I just don't know if this year is your year. And number 10 there for Buccaneers. This year is definitely not our year. I don't even know if it's our year to win a playoff game. Like, I have confidence against the Eagles if we're playing the Eagles. But like, we still need to freaking win to win the division. We could have clinched it last week, but we still need to win the division. Like, there's a chance where we don't make the playoffs. So I don't know, but I will say they woke up somewhere around in the fourth quarter and they started playing like they needed to. What I saw at the beginning of the game, though, was like Byron Leftwich offense. I'm like, why am I seeing history repeat itself? Dave Canales, you weren't a part of this. Like, why is this happening again? But this is also, some of the things that happen with first-time offensive coordinators, first-time play callers in general. Like, he was only a passing game coordinator. Like, he wasn't calling plays. This is Dave Canales' first time doing that. And I also think this shows a lot about Todd Bowles. Like, the team should have been awake going into the game. They should have been ready for this. And he kind of says the same thing where it's like, oh yeah, we should have coached harder, all this stuff. But it's like, are you actually going to do it? I'm interesting to see what happens this last week because, he's kind of on the hot seat. I think. As for Buccaneers fans, he definitely is. I don't know if he is for Jason Light in the front office for the Buccaneers, but I definitely think that Todd Bowles is on the hot seat and he needs to win, and they need to go have a playoff win as well in order for him to like kind of stick around. Because while the defense has been decent, you're supposed to be a defensive minded head coach, and a lot of the high stakes games that we've lost is because the defense failed. And your guys, aka Devin White, Carlton Davis, they failed and they got burnt. So it's like, that's on you ultimately, because you decided to keep those players and get rid of the other all-pro cornerbacks and the other all-pro linebackers that we had. So hey, Todd Bowles, we'll see if you can get you one and get you a third straight. This would be a third straight division title for the Buccaneers if they go in and win the game. And I got them at number 10 because they are leading their division right now. And there is only 8 divisions in the NFL. I got to give some respect to the Buccaneers, but no respect to the Chiefs. No respect to the Chiefs. They've been playing awful all year long, and I'm sick of watching the game and seeing Taylor Swift, bro. Like, oh my God, is she an owner of the team? No, okay, stop showing her every freaking down. Anyways, bro, I'll just get I had to get my my feelings out on that because this is football. This isn't just watch the celebrity on the sideline. This isn't NBA where we're like, oh, who's here? If you want to do that in a timeout. And if you want to cut away to something during the game, let's cut away to a replay. or a coach. Let's not cut away to a fucking fan who's sitting in a box somewhere. Like, we don't care. The rest of the NFL doesn't care. And this is what happens when a lot of, big time leagues, they placate to certain things. Like, hey, the Swifties are a great fan base. We love to have the Swifties here, right? We'll give you a cameo a game or a cameo, in between the timeout or something. That's fine. But during the drive, it's just like, NFL, let's remember who your fan base is. And let's remember why this league is here. It's not because of Taylor Swift, all right? It's because of the people playing on the game and the people on the field and the people actually putting the work in to make all that happen. And while Taylor Swift may be a small part in that to make little Travis Kelce happy, hasn't been doing a whole lot this season. Just seems like a big, giant distraction because it's one of his worst years of his career is this year and this season. So just saying, I just look at the stats there. But, yeah, Buccos at 10. If I had an honorable mention, it'd be the Chiefs. And I don't have the Sparta kick pulled up, but I'm not going to pull it up because every time I do, I get kicked out. I'm not going to do that.
Yeah, we'll spare him.
It's the end of the show. I do have to say, though, Bubble Squad for me is Colts. They might make a stamp here at the end of the season, but Marshmallow Minshew will surely Minshew out to end the season. And next year, man, they're going to be different with AR-15, bro. They're going to be different.
Man, I'm telling you, I'm going to be boots down in Indy for a couple games next season for sure. That's going to be a show.
It's going to be a show, man. I can't wait to see that. I can't wait to see the content from that because I've never seen the inside of Lucas Oil Stadium because I know it's a grand entrance there, and we'll have to see if the roof's open. We'll need that reporting, live reporting if the roof's open and all that. Yeah. So the Colts, man, the Jim Irsay still knows what he's doing. Let's be honest. He might have spent like $73 million to get a plane ready to fly a whale across the country. Maybe you didn't know about that, but that was a whole thing that happened, and that whale unfortunately died before the trip could even happen. He may have done certain things like that, all right, but he still has a very, very good football team. And shout out to the Colts. They're a franchise that's not going away anytime soon, and something else is not going away anytime soon. Obviously, this show we'll be back after too. I think we should do power rankings throughout the off season here and there. Just to have, like we said, all-time rankings, and we'll do some fun stuff for everybody. Maybe rank, we can go through and maybe rank all the teams, like top players all time on this team, and we'll do different teams every week.
And I know during the offseason they have the NFL top 100, so we can cover that, as well. So there's plenty of stuff in the offseason.
Power rankings are not going away. That's all I wanted to say. A good countdown will be back, obviously, but power rankings will be back too because this is one of the funnest shows. Make these lists, see the chat go crazy, and see all your reactions. Man, y'all talking some BS. Yeah, we know. We know. But there's no Thursday countdown this week. There's no Thursday game this week. There's no more Thursday games. But I don't know if there's a Saturday game. I didn't check that out.
I think it is a Saturday game. Let's see.
There is. We'll be back Saturday. Yeah. Saturday 4:30 and 8:15. So there's two games. Oh, Steelers, Ravens. Yeah, Texans, Colts. Playoff implications on the line. Yeah. So we'll be live and TBD or 2BA the time when we go live on Saturday, probably in the afternoon because it's 4:30, 8:15. So we don't need to be up early. So Saturday and Sunday, those would be the final countdowns. If we didn't get a DMCA or a strike immediately and the stream taken down, I'd play the song. And the final, we'll have it going in the background at least or something for everybody. But thanks everybody for the final power rankings of the NFL regular season. No Lamar Saturday. Wah, wah.
I don't know. Is that decided on yet?
We'll see.
The coach said he was waiting to see, but there's no reason for him to play, really.
Right.
Hold up. It was announced. Yeah.
All right.
It was announced. Yeah, he's sitting.
Hey, well,
so still football.
Still football. I still think the Ravens will beat the Steelers. Mason Rudolph has been playing good, but I don't think they're that good. We'll see.
It'll be fun to watch. Yeah.
But you have anything to promo besides the countdowns coming up?
No, definitely. Like I said, the countdown's coming up, and then when like you have the college football championship coming up. I think it was next Monday.
Yep.
And then also the NFL games this weekend. Basically, I'm gonna start doing my reaction streams for like the kind of like the prime time. Like I supposed to did it this the other night with the Washington Texas game and the
New Year's Day
Alabama. I just didn't have time to do it, but I'm gonna do like reaction streams, kind of point out the stats and who won, why they won, and stuff like that, and may eventually take like callers and stuff like that. So we'll see, but I'm working on some reaction stuff. So it probably won't be these Sunday NFL games, but starting college national championship game, be an immediate stream after the game's over.
That's what's up, man. That's a dope spot to like have everybody wind down and have their reactions. Yeah. And have some callers in the chat. Long time listener, first time caller. Oh man, I can't wait to say that be on the stream. But yo, that's a great spot. And obviously we have this whole community of sports people, and we want more people to be a part of this, sports nation. So that's a good way to bring it into also what's coming up, March Madness, which I don't really, dabble too much in the college basketball, but that's when I do dabble. I will dabble. Mm-hmm. So we'll have to talk about that, and everyone will be making brackets, and we'll have a lot of fun. There's a lot of fun to be had. That's what we're getting down to. But reaction streams, man, that's huge. That's huge. So everyone be on the lookout for that. Make sure you're obviously subscribed, followed to Syl, have your notifications on, because you want to make sure that you know when it's going live, because a lot of these things might just be popping up, man. Like, oh shit, this happened, boom. Oh shit, this person got traded, boom. Oh shit, Belichick's gonna wear, boom. We got
that'll definitely be a reaction stream, yeah.
Yeah, so I appreciate y'all. We appreciate y'all being here for the last power rankings of the season. Sorry, Money Train. Money Train is like, yo, run this back. Nah, dude, this is the final list. It's ingrained in stone. I will say, Money Train, I put Jared Goff on the Mount Passmore, and that's the ultimate Mount Passmore. Yeah, I give you respect.
That was shocking. That was shocking.
It was shocking for me too. I was like, am I really gonna do that? I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna follow my own sword on that one. But yeah, we need more NBA too. Real Talk saying that too. February trade deadline's coming up, so I'm sure Syl will be talking about that as well.
Breaking news stuff. Like I may be out and about, I may be working or something, but I'll just pull out the phone and we'll just do reactions whenever like major stuff happens. That's what we're doing.
That's all you need. So make sure you're locked in, chat, and we'll see y'all on Saturday afternoon, and Sunday morning for the final countdowns of the season. Playoff implications on the line. I can't wait to see how this weekend plays out, and I can't wait to be back with y'all afterwards. But appreciate y'all for being here, and we'll see y'all on Saturday. All right, have a good night, y'all. Peace.